Hello, everyone. Bump this up a little bit. There we go. All right. What are we working on? We are going to be working on... Hey, Oder, how's it going? We're going to be working on the mod. Going to be doing a bunch of stuff in the mod. Hope you're having a good day, Oder. I'm doing pretty well. I got to get on early because I started work early. So, that's fun. All right, let's hop in, see what we got going on. Just playing some Oblivion Remastered. I bought that. I'm playing that tonight. I am excited to play that. But yeah, today's going pretty well. It was, it was a busy day. Standard busy. Going a lot better now. So I've been going pretty hard in the mod. I started to review my change logs because I've done like sweeping changes. I know I don't have everything, but I got a lot. I think the last big thing that I have to do, I think it's going to be making the specific armor, like the magician's armor, or not magician's, the conjurer's armor, whatever, and then coming up with how you get that armor. That's going to be the big thing. I had to download a cheat program so I could disable encumbrance. Yeah, that always got me. When I first played Elder Scrolls, when I first played Oblivion, I was like, you know what? I found the cheat to do just that. Fucked out of the tutorial would have been, yeah. Are you playing on Master Mode? I hear Master Mode is terrible. Like, Adept is like the sweet spot, it seems, if you want challenge. Alright, so I'm gonna Adept my man. That's probably what I'm gonna be playing on. But I've done a lot. I've done a lot. I can review it, or I could just hop right in and just start making some armor. What do we think? There, we'll move this over here. Let's see. Armor it up. We'll see the process. All right. You'll notice some differences. Like for instance, this is tier 3 transmutation now. Looks a little different. I've separated out spells. I've done a lot. Hey, Gorgon. All right, let's do this. Hello, Juno. So yeah, we're gonna create some armor. Now, this armor, I think I decided on not having it look too special. That's what the whole transmog system is. So this is going to look like the standard tier 3 armor, but it's going to use my new stat attributes that I made. This has been a pretty big lift with these stat attributes. And then what we'll do is I'll create a patch to maybe I'll create a patch to make some of the in-game armor resistant to magic as well. I could do that. It won't be a lot of resistance, and it won't be every piece of armor. But maybe I can do that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Ah, man, so... how do I want to do this? Do I want... See, at first, I was going to make a set bonus, right? So you put on the legs, the chest piece, and the helmet, and all those things together would equal you... being like a conjuration mage and attuned for conjuration. I ended up going a different approach here, and I set it to where like all the stats are individually on the pieces of armor. I don't know which way I like more. I know which way is easier, the way I have it now. But I gotta think about what this means for like the tier 2 armor too. Like, when do you specialize? Is it a tier 3 mage privilege to be able to put on conjuration armor? Or should there be, a conjuration armor type for the magician stuff, right? The tier 2. That just isn't as good. How deep do I want to go with this? When should you specialize in conjuration? Kind of like the idea of having it be a tier 2 thing, right? Like you become a tier 2 mage, and one of the bonuses is like, hey, I have enough spells, right? Now I can specialize in those spells. I don't know, what do we think? What do we think here? Your ideas are great, Vice. Oh, thanks. You're right. Yeah, probably just tier 2 to make it more accessible. Yeah. See, like this was the fence I was on. Tier 3 would be easier for me because it's one more armor, like just one more armor set. You know, I can plan for the final destination. Tier 2, I mean, it's not as easy as in like I gotta create like another you know set of armor for each. And remember, with the transmog system, this is going to be each there's going to be multiple new armors out there with this. Basically, I'm going to take the armor that we have and multiply it by 2/3. You know, that's already in the game. And I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem at all. It will inflate the equipment section. Like this whole thing, this will inflate a little bit. And you know, and this is the other idea. So remember, it doesn't have to be just armor. I could put stats on a belt now, or a wristband, or anything. Like I've made the stuff very fluent, and the new attribute system is pretty unique because it also can do negatives into your stats too. So if you want like a bracelet of like, you know, magic destruction or whatever I call it, and I can put something on there that says, you know what, you'll have 50 less max mana, but you'll do like 20% bonus damage with all of your evocation attack spells. So I can put a whole like jewelry aspect, so I can have it to where like maybe tier 3 would be like, yes, I'm specializing in conjuration. Tier 2 maybe, hey, I'm able to craft things that I can equip to make my spells better, right? I can get something for spell haste or something for, right? That's what I gotta decide before I start building everything. What does the armor system look like? And also, is there a fun way to have it to where you unlock armor? Right? Like, should there be something where it's like, yeah, you know what? To get the basic, maybe the apprentice stuff, you just make in the crafting table, right? But should I do something where it's like, oh, you know, like to get the next piece of equipment, you have to do like a ritual or something, right? And like imbue stuff and make that original equipment better. That's kind of where I am right now. Like, is this an opportunity to like make a neat system? Because here, I'll show you something I did. Here, we'll pull up like Rust Orb, right? Basic Rust Orb 1. I created a new ritual, the Elemental Infusion Ritual. So basically, we can get some chalk. There we go, magic chalk. Why not? There we go. I can place this down. That is the mage candle. Boop, 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 boop. And this is going to be elemental crystals. Let's do... There we go. We'll do frost crystals. This will be a good test. So you could set up a ritual like this, and then you could throw the grimoire out. Here we go, Rust Orb 1. And then when you cast Transmutation on it, you can imbue it, like, and you can convert that into the frost equivalent spell, which I just got. Cold Snap. Right? So I have the ability to do stuff like this now. Right? So what's to say I don't do something where it's like you put down another thing for a ritual, and and you do whatever the pattern is for whatever, right? And then you throw your old armor in the middle, and it's like a rite of passage. But would that be more fun, or would it be, like, not as fun? Should it just stay like, yeah, crafting grid? Upgrading the tier 1 equips to tier 2 seems like a good idea. If only to give more use for the weaker armors. Yeah, right, you gotta step through. Now there is a thing, right, with your armor. When it breaks, it does not disappear. So you don't have to worry about it disappearing forever. Maybe that will change in one of these updates, but I highly doubt it. Because that's the other thing too, right? It's like, well, I would be giving... Yeah, I don't know. What do people think? What do people think about this? While I wait for a reply or something, I can conjure up some kind of squiggle here. Right? Look at that. Bam. You would throw your armor in, cast it, you know, cast the spell. You'd have to be a tier 2 mage, and then it turns this into the tier 2 equivalent. Because I think right now you just craft it in the robe. I think you just craft it in the crafting table, right? Magicians. Yeah. So that's what it is right now. Although I'd have to make it beefier. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I'm overthinking this. What do we think? What do we think? I think either way, we're gonna have tier 3 armor. So let's go ahead and make some tier 3 armor. And then by the time the tier 3 armor is done, then we can circle back to tier 2. Because we're going to have to put some stats on this stuff. And honestly, I think it's going to be easier to come from it from like a perspective of like, this is what a tier 3 mage would be. You know, like we're the final place before you start putting on necklaces and trinkets and stuff. Alright, so those are my patches. Items. Oh, I was already starting this, huh? Already. Wow, I was super lazy with this. Evocation right at the end. Okay, so I need body and legs. We'll copy those and I'll paste those in. Item wearable, soulbound. Okay, let's pop out. Where is it? There we go. All right, I'm gonna pop this out. So armor body. You know, I'm gonna pop this out. We're gonna pop out the other one. Where'd it go? I'm like missing stuff here. Okay, here are the legs. There we go. Body and legs. We'll put them side by side. Kind of make it full screen. I'm just gonna pop both of these at the same time. So this is going to have just a tier 3 version. I can see both sides of it. Personally, I like the ritual aspect. Well, maybe I can make it to where the ritual aspect is how you would turn it into like robes of conjuration. Ah, what do you think about that? So you could still craft it, right? You can still craft it, but then you can choose to throw them out into a ritual and then turn them into like conjuration robes or alteration or whatever specialty you would like. So I'm gonna copy this and we'll paste. So this is going to be evocation, alteration, incantation. There we go, if I could spell it right. Incantation. And Conjuration. Paste that in. Paste that in, right? So we're going to come further down. Eventually, I got to make the Wanderer and the Necromancer's robes. I got to finish those. Or the armor. See, now I got like tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. I don't need to worry about any of that stuff. I will keep tier 2. But I will get rid of tier 1. We are going to have to do a test, I think. Going to minimize those down. So this is the plain version. I think what I could do is do something like this and then do tier 3 evocation. We're going to test with the legs. We're going to go through with the legs first. And the legs should give me just the bonus mana and the bonus mana cost, right? So I should get max mana, and then I should get a general mana cost reduction. And we are going to, since this is evocation, we are going to put in all the evocation stuff. I'm not going to do the general, but we will do all the evocation stuff. I thought I had this somewhere. I'm not seeing it. Weird. I must have deleted it all out. Had to have been. Alright, so just for my own sake, we're going to go down to the magic modifier. It's a spellcasting system. Those are all the spells. Crap, where did I stick it? You know what? We'll go to wearable stats. And then I'll just scroll down here. Here we go. Magic modifiers. This is what I want. So I'm setting it up to where I'll have all these keys be available. But if someone wants to patch, like if they want to make a mod for my mod, and they want to make their own kind of mage robes or equipment or anything, they will be able to use through JSON just these keys and put in the values, and then my mod should be able to process all that so you can make your own, you know, bracelet of destruction if you want and have it be God mode tier or some kind of cursed item. So I thought ahead with all this stuff. So I'm going to move this over since this is evocation. Which one are we doing? Legs. Here we go. I really thought I had a piece of armor. Let me check everything. Something doesn't seem quite right. I don't think I'm doing this right. Now it's all evocation stuff. Was it this headpiece? One of these I have like all the... I made a test piece of equipment for alteration. There it is. There it is. Okay. This is what I was looking for. So now what I could do is just go down. I'm not sure if I actually saved myself any time, right? But this reduces mana cost by 50%. It's going to reduce cast time of the spells by 50%. Increase the duration by 50%, damage by 50%, and stats by 50%. Right? Nice and simple. And it's going to give me 100 mana for putting this on. Just so I know there's no mistake. There we go. We'll comment that out. Okay, and now, before we hop in, I need to label this appropriately. And then we'll hop in and make sure that my stats do adjust. Build. I also have to think about how I want this this to be displayed. Ban, bitch. Convenient, yeah. I'm trying. I may be sniffling a little bit. It's the pollen here is just nasty. Nasty out today. Boop, ba-doop, boo. There you go. I want to listen to this song. Oh, it's gonna take a bit, right? Because I just created all that armor without any shapes. I may have to stop what I'm doing and put in some like dummy information to do the mappings here. Let's stop. This is gonna take a while. It's not worth it. So let's go back into here. And we are going to minimize all of this stuff. All right, yeah, because we have the alteration, conjuration. We have all the variants. It's gonna take a long time. So anything that says type, I think I want to statically put in just like tier 1. Pretty sure. Double check, right? So for anything that's like a type. See, I've done this before. Yeah, so I could just do like tier 3, for instance. So let's go into here, let's scroll down. So instead of type, I just want to get static tier 3. Tier 3, tier 3. That's going to be the evocation stuff. And then this is the tier 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's try this. It's nice of you to think of other modders who might want to change something in your mod. Yeah, right. A little forethought, right? Like a little more planning on my part, but I mean, some people have already come out with some patches for my mod, which is pretty cool. Did I build? I think the one thing's funny where it's like it tones down the spawn rate. Like, sure. Whatever. If you don't want those mobs in there, go ahead, take it out. See, if I make you very powerful with magic, you should have something to defend yourself against, right? Should have something to, you know, level the playing field. So it still looks like it's still missing mappings. Rusty Jonas. And this is the body, so let's look at the body first. So basic 1, 2. Oh, snap. Snap, son. I gotta put stars in here. Paste, paste, and paste. 1, 2, 3. Necromancer's not done yet. Tier 4 doesn't exist. It's still going through just the body, trying to start right now. Paste, 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 and paste. All right, let's see if that does it. We're gonna stop again. I'm gonna build one more time. Open stream and everything's good, but not logged in. Log in, it reloads the page and mutes the stream. Oh God. How you doing, Aster? I feel like I had something to do for someone in one of the streams. I can't remember what, though. But something will trigger it up here. Something will trigger it. I thought I was supposed to do something, I assume, in Discord. I don't remember, though. Okay, see, there we go. That's better. So now if I search by evocation, this is all the specific evocation armor. And it was the legs, right? Or was it the body or the legs or the helmet? Which one did I do? Oh, it was the legs. I forgot to put the star right here. There we go. So now it should have all the evocation stats on the legs. Boop. Working very hard. Oof. About to take lunch. Figured I'd add to viewers and catch at least part of the stream. Nice. Welcome in, man. Hope you unwrap that sandwich. Unwrap that sandwich. Take a load off. You want to know something sad? I ran out of fun soda, so I have this stevia soda crap. It may go back in the fridge. I think it just tastes so terrible. It may just go back in the fridge. So I've been drinking water instead. How dare he? So this is what it's going to look like, right? So the system saw those extra stats, and now I'm telling you what those stats are, and we could test this, right? So let's get some mana back. Let me soulbind to this, and then put this on, and then if we look at grimoires, right? So this is before. It's Fireball 3, Rust Orb 3. So I have something equipped right now. Oh, okay, so I have this stuff. Yeah, so that's global spell cost. You know what? Actually, yeah, I want to save that because I need to make an adjustment. We'll do it right now. So that spell mana cost where it's like many decimal points out, let's fix that so it doesn't do that. To do that, we need to open up the... I think it's this. Collectible behavior. And this was specifically... What was it? Spell mana cost. Spell mana cost. That bad boy right there. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do... Probably something like this. Can I just do 2-string? I can. And then in here, we're gonna do number.number. You know what? Actually, for the mana cost, it's got to be a whole number. There we go. So that cleans it up there. And we are actually going to do this for the rest of the stuff. So mana regen, that's always going to be an int, but it's an int already. Max mana is always an int as well. Oh, I gotta finish this system out too, because I have to have a different color if it's a positive or a negative effect. I wish I had a sandwich. I have yogurt and ramen. Brunch of Champions. What flavor ramen? Is it like boring beef, or did you get like the spicy chicken picante or something? But you know the funny thing? I think the pork flavored ramen is my favorite ramen. Pork flavor of all things. Normal chicken. All right. Not bad. Normal chicken. All right. So for everything else, so cast time is a float. So I'm going to encapsulate this again. We'll paste this in. So this is a float. So actually I want 1 decimal place out for that. Spell duration, this one is also going to be, we got to cap that. It's got to be a whole number because it's a %. And I just want the whole percentage. For this one, what is this spell damage? That one can be, I can display 1 decimal point. I think that would be fine. Oh snap! None of these should have decimal points. I remember now. I'm telling you what percent it is. So we're gonna just round up to the whole number on the percents. And that was just on the generic stuff. I'm gonna do something a little different. No, I'm not. Just kidding. There we go. I'm gonna have to go back through this. I'll do it off stream. It gets kind of boring if I'm just editing text, right? But that should be enough to show. We look at it, so that's all fixed, looking good. So that's what the leggings are gonna be looking like here. So we have our mana cost, cast time, duration, damage, and stats. We are looking at something like we'll do Rust Orb, right? 225 mana, 12-second cast time, 15 damage, 25 block range. You put these leggings on. Now that spell costs 112, which so 225, that is really close. That is not showing you the decimal point, the 0.5. So 112 I think is perfectly acceptable. Set of 12 seconds, we're at a 6-second cast time. Damage did not go up. So we need to take a look at that. The damage modifier didn't change. And it should indeed be a 50% increase. So let's take a look at the item grimoire, because it just may not be reflected through the grimoire. Come on. Where the hell's the damage? Wait, duration. Here we go, damage. Okay, so get modified damage. That is what I want. So if we go to get modified damage. damage. Original damage is getting that damage. So that looks fine. Now let's look at the math behind this. I probably screwed up something major in here. So we got no spell, we got the modifier, I do a check, we look at the dictionary, I get the damage of the spell object. Ooh, so if spell object, so if it can use attribute modifiers, or spell object damage equals 0F, then I just return the damage. If this is still 0F, I don't do anything else, and now we go further down. Let's go to... Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Conjuring... Okay, so evocation. This is what I'm looking for. So I see evocation. I'm getting the blended stat. And I'm adding to it. Ooh, I think this may be killing me. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Because I'm making damage... Yeah, the generic damage mod minus the amount times the damage. Bro, I'm thinking about making ramen. I should make some ramen for lunch now. Nice. You're starting a trend. Oriental's my favorite, but I recognize the flavors of 100% chemical soup. You know, I had a coworker recently. We were talking about ramen. He was talking about how he would love to buy like a pallet of the Oriental flavor, and I guess they ended up changing that. There's no Oriental flavor in the US anymore. Now it's called soy sauce, and it tastes completely different, and he thinks like it tastes horrible. So he's like, I miss the old It was a big thing. The dude was on a soapbox. Because I'm like, I've never had Oriental flavor. I think it was the blue package, right? I never had that. This is really weird. It looks like it should be working. Let's take a look at the magic stats. Maybe I don't have the damage modifier set correctly. So damage modifier, that's right. And that is correct as well. Now let's go further down. So we're looking at evocation. So that's the damage modifier with evocation. And that is writing the evocation damage modifier stat, which is correct. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Yeah, it is just not moving. Weird. All right, we can need some print statements. Print statements. So damage. So if damage is greater than 0, technically it should be 0F. Same thing with duration. Same thing with cast time. And the spell does not equal life tap, which is correct. It modified damage. All right, so I will put. I'm going to copy this right there. RMR references dot logger. Got to see where this is failing. Boom. All right. Fireball that in. It's saying 5 right now. So the math itself is wrong, and now that's 15. Okay, so now that we know that, let's come into here, cut, go into here, and let's see what it thinks damage is in here. You know, I've been on the fence about this one. I don't think I like it. I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. Boom. That was one of the songs I added to my playlist, and I'm like, I'm just gonna end up deleting this off. I don't know. It failed. All right, so let's see what the damage is now. Looking at a spell. So it's still saying 15. So there's a problem with the calculation here. All right, fair enough, I guess. Let's go right into here. And tell me what damage is in here. I wonder if this is being a little too aggressive. So it is saying 15. So let's also take a look at this generic modifier. Save. Three. So 3 is not the right number at all. What is this? That's 3. So all of this is coming out 3. What the fuck? What? Okay, this I messed something up major in here. Let's just, you know what? Let's just get to know each other. Let's start from the top. Hi, my name is Vice. Why you no work? Let me see what the hell damage is up here. Does it actually see damage? Let's see what the damage is here. All right, what do you got? So it is seeing 15, the correct number. and it's seeing that as 5. So it's pulling the right information out. So right in here is where our damage modifier should be. So get blended stat damage modifier. What do you think damage mod is? One. What? All right, you know what? Let's go back into here, right? So, evocation damage modifier. What if I change this to? Oh man, what else has a damage? What else has damage on it? I don't know if any other spells really have attack on it. Yeah, I don't think any other spells have attack. So damage mod is coming out to 1. That's telling me that it's not seeing... It's not seeing what it should be. So I have a core issue with my stats being applied. Let's pull this back up. We got a problem in here. Because it's a weighted stat. So 1 is like the middle of the road, right? That's middle of the ground there. I don't even remember this song. Oh, it's because it wasn't really a song. There we go. Very interesting. So that's the behavior. Spellcast. Evocation. Damage. I feel like there's something very minor that I'm missing. A simple copy paste that went awry. And it would have been in here, but it's not. Damn it! This is soulbound to me, right? Well, yeah, it would have to be for me to actually keep it on. Ooh. Oh, I gotta do the localization for this stuff too. Yeah, it's still saying 1. Son of a biscuit, man. New follower. I love your mod. Thanks for the follow. I hope that's true. Bro, update soon. Yep. It's a big update. It's a big update. I think this is the last big thing, is creating the armor, like recreating the armor, coming up with special evocation, conjuration type armor. And then I have to update the guidebook, but the way I updated everything, the guidebook isn't changing too much. There are some entries that I gotta rewrite a little bit, because like there are no wands anymore, things like that. But update is very soon. Very soon. If this wasn't being a piece of crap, this wasn't being crappy, you know what? Let's go into... Let me pull up Spike Shield. Ooh, if we look at this, the duration doesn't change either. Mana cost is fine, spellcasting is fine, but yeah, the duration and the damage haven't changed. You know what? Damage is not going to change. I may have to fix that. But the duration should have, because we should have had... this is a tier 1, so yeah, 10 minutes. It should be at 20 minutes, because it should have been 50%. Your mod is the best mod for Vintage Story. I'm glad you think so. It feels good hearing that. That's why I mod. Why mod? If I make one person happy, then it's worth it. This is so bizarre. Did I spell it wrong? Am I spelling something? You know what? Let's do generic. Let's do generic for these two. Bam, bam. All right, we're gonna reload. We reload the game. So now it should be using the generic pipeline for duration and attack. To be fair, you probably put in more time into this mod than anyone else does in their own. And I got a couple other mods too. Modding is fun for me. I like being able to create new things. The generic pipelines are not working either. I wonder if it's just evocation stuff that's having a hard time. Let's go, let's pull up swiftness. See, swiftness should be getting a bonus to the stat right now too, and it's not. There we go. So I got a couple spells here. It's really weird. And if we look at it here, this is not coming up. I'm spelling something wrong. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I could be spelling these wrong. That's freaking spelled right. Oh, give me that. And this is evocation. All right. All right, let's do the generic damage. Copy that. Paste. Oh, wait a minute. Let me think this through. It's not... Well, no. I was going to say it's not because of the by type here, right? What if I do this and just set it back to wildcard? I do that. Now we're going to reload. So it's interactive with the community. And it's so interactive with the community, unlike most. Yeah. I think I'm excited about getting this all squared away, because if you want to be like a healer and a buffer, right? I want you to specialize in that magic. You want to be a creation mage, I want you to be able to specialize. You want to just be a glass cannon, literally. Oh, you all want to see something fun? It's something so small, but I think a lot of people will appreciate it, right? So transmutation. Here, we'll just go to here. Right? Regular doesn't do anything, right? It collides here, it waits, and then it will do whatever the transmutation magic is. These are the leaves that you could walk through. Guess what happens now when you cast transmutation? It collides with the leaf blocks. It collides with them now. So gone are the days where you had to sit there and like try to aim just right, step far enough away to make sure it expired in the little gap of leaves. Now it can detect the leaves and then it collides right away to trigger transmutation. How many people's minds are blown right now? Another big thing that people will like, all the people who are out there who are like, yeah, I unlocked magic and it stutters for me. I think I found the cause and fixed it. So if I go into this, they're like basically the spell casting HUD took up a lot of resources. I ended up rewriting it because it was like aggressively to render that little icon right at the bottom. It was like re-rendering the whole heads-up display. And see, now it all kind of shifts. Now you won't really see anything until you're casting, and the calls are really low. And then when it disappears, when you cast the spell, it actually disappears now. It doesn't continuously run in the background, even when you're not doing magic. So that is something. A lot of things. I was looking at my list of changes and I'm like, holy crap. Done a lot of changes. What is going on with all of this stuff? It's almost like it's not reading. It's like it's not reading anything correctly now. All this crap was working before. Wait, what did I change today? Let's go into the calculations. Into our calculations here. Let me look at generic mod. I did make some changes. I'm remembering this now. So it is saying 3 right now. What about here? 3, 3, 3. Yeah, this is all sorts of effed up. So what changed? If the school is evocation. Wait, I'm not even, I wasn't even looking at evocation stuff. This is still the damage stuff. Let me cut this out. I think my problem is up here. No spell. Is this screwing me over? What does it think the object is? Let's see. For the spell object, give me the ID. I think it's the no spell. I think it's not getting into here, and it's not changing what it should be changing. Okay, so it's saying Rust Orb. Cold Snap. Spike Shield. Okay. So that is correct. Generic mod. Save that. Fireball it in. Let me see what generic mod thinks that blended stat is. If it says 1, then yeah, I'm all sorts of effed up. And it's saying 1. Whew. You must have a bit of good stuff in a good space if you're bug fixing and troubleshooting rather than adding and rebuilding. Yeah. So that is correct. Deletes code. We're starting fresh. It's funny that it's doing this. It's not seeing the stats. And this is not broken. You know what? Whoops. Let's go back into where was it? Was it here? Here we go. Let me cut this out. All right. Cut it out, clean it back up, make it look all nice and pretty. Let's put something in here. You tell me what generic modifier is. You tell me what that is. Pop it right at the bottom. All mod dot. You tell me what that is as soon as I put the armor on, before we go into any of my math. 0. 0. Ain't 0. I can tell you that right now. Because it is a float. So something is happening here where I'm coming into here and it's not... Does it think it's broken? Oh, snap! There's no durability! There's no durability on this, is there? Wait, I don't see durability. Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. God damn it. Piece of crap. Son of a biscuit, man. Alright, Tier 3 evocation. I'm hurt, and I don't hurt easy. It's because mana cost and cast time are not the same kind of stat as duration, damage, and stats. I put those on differently. Then I run those through the code differently than I do the other stats. That's just the way spells work. Which is why when I put things on, it's still, yeah, okay. So instead of explaining it, let's just fix it. Let's go further down. If I just scroll down a little further, here, let's look at this. How about I add durability to all this? There we go. He's a genius. This man knows programming. It's crap. It's all crap. That's it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna delete everything and we're gonna start fresh. Right? Let's pull up a spreadsheet, guys. Pull up a Word doc. Let's map out what a magic mod's gonna be. What are we looking for? Clean slate. Unbreakable magic armor. Archmage power. Magic brick. I should have something where it's like a bracelet or something you could put on that makes magic brick do like 10 points of damage per cast or something. Hercules bracelet. Magic brick does like 10 times the damage. Oh man, am I making something like that? Is that what this is? So this is broken, right? Oh, actually, now it's got durability. Now it's got durability. Hey, look at that. The damage increased by 50% now. The damage and the duration increased by 50%. That's swiftness. That's not. It's just evocation spells. Hooray! He's so good. He eventually finds his way out of his issues. Amazing. So am I going to have a tier 2 and a tier 3 version of the specific armor? Because what does that mean if you have like the tier 2 conjuration? You know what? I'm just going to make it tier 3 for now. I'm going to make it tier 3 because I don't want to rabbit hole myself any further. I want this update to go out. This is what we're going to do. For now, I will leave the tier 3 bit in here. We're gonna scroll all the way up because what I change in one, I have to change in the others. So let's get rid of that. Pop this up. Put our star right there, right? And where's the third one? Because I got to do this to all three. Here's the third one. You can't see it because it's on my other monitor. I want to get another monitor and put it like right up there. I think it'd be great. All right. So, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, here we go. Evocation. Bam. Tier 3 wild card. All right. So let's go further down. And we're spot checking all of this. I don't think there's anything else. Group by type. I think the group by type is fine as well. So this is where things are going to be a little different. And you know what? I don't want a 50% increase to everything. I'm going to make it 25% across the board. And what I will do... We're going to copy this, paste that in. I think this is what I'm going to do. So evocation, this will be generic, and that will get you up to half cost, right? So the regular armor is going to have the 25% for the tier 3. And then by having like the evocation ones, it's an additional, so it will end up being a 50% reduction in mana cost, 50% reduction in cast time. And then you know what? I think the rest I probably should have at 50%. Because I have a little OCD for this particular thing. I'll just put the 0 in there because I like it. There we go. So that's the evocation leggings. Next one's going to be alteration. Copy that. Now we're going to come on down to here. Whoops. What am I going to have for dinner? Oh, you know a cool thing? I got tomorrow off, everyone. Vice is actually taking time off. I have over 160 hours of PTO. I got to start burning that shit up. I think there's like a 200 or 300 cap. I think it's maybe 200. I'm getting close. I got to start taking time off. So old Vice is going to be around all day tomorrow. I haven't really taken time off in a long time. I'm like incantation. I got the new new, right? The Oblivion remaster. Oh god, I can't wait to jump into that. I can't wait. Oh, then that came out of nowhere. I found out like the day it was, like yesterday, right? The day it was released. Or not, was it yesterday? I don't know. Time is an illusion. The day, 2 days ago, whatever. Right? Like I saw it and I was like, holy crap. They're making this? And I thought to myself like, I'll buy it. And then when it's like, oh, it's coming out now. It went right to Steam and I'm like, done. No brainer. I remember I never went through the full story of the Oblivion. I was like a professional thief, magic wizard. Like I spent like all my time like I looted people so much. I had like everyone's house key. And I remember the one place I would hit like every night to get like, I would put on my magic shoes to lower and then sneak around. And the dude ended up getting a dog and I felt bad because I had to like kill the dog and then quickly leave. A lot of save stating to get those house keys, let me tell you. Freaking love it. You ever going to hop into the new old EverQuest? I hear Oder knows about it and it's fun. Just wish I had time for things. Not P99, something else newer, but using the old client. No, that Hero's Journey, I think is what that is. I don't know if I'm gonna get in that anytime soon. It's not off the table. I just have, so this is my plan for things because I got to get back into Mines of Moria. I was enjoying that. I want to play that one through. I got the new Oblivion, remaster to delve into. I have the mod here. After this coming update, I think officially I'm done building, like modifying all the internal systems that I have. This was a enormous, like I think GitHub clocked me in at over like, I think it was over 30,000 file changes so far. Just be going in, changing things, tweaking, like it's the amount of work that's going into this particular update's ridiculous, but I mean, it's the full thing. All the spells have been ironed out. We got like sound effects on everything, the spell schools, like I change like what it means to be a spell in this. But once this is done, once this next update is out, this is going into maintenance mode for a bit so I can play the other games. But I got a list of things to do. But unfortunately, playing a 30-year-old plus game is not super high on the list. Now you can't, I don't know if you could see it. Maybe if I go like this way. Right back there is the gold edition for EverQuest. I think it was when Planes of Power came out. It was the gold tin. I got the little figurine in there, the cloth map. I actually want to get a frame for the cloth map and put it... I'm running out of wall space. Probably right there is where I'm going to put it. But yeah, like I love EverQuest, but I kind of want to play... And the other thing is, like, for live streaming, I know people do it. I don't want to live stream private server stuff. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why I don't listen to big boy music. But, yeah. He was mentioning Hero Journey since you came from EverQuest. Now, remember that ViesCraft? I think they renamed it, right? So it's something else, but I would play that. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about being like 3 classes and 1 character in EverQuest. I think a lot of the awesomeness was like the fact that your class kind of felt like you played a specific role, right? Like if I was a shaman, I was a buff bot extraordinaire, right? Like everyone had their niche, right? You were a cleric, you were a healer pro, and I mean, like temperance was like a phenomenal, right? A magician, all the clickies and stuff you can make. But I don't know about having all those at once. You could be like a necromancer, magician, and, you know, like wizard, or yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. That doesn't mean it's off the table. It just, there are other things higher right now. Oblivion, I think, is like I want to be in it right now, but I'm being good. We're getting this done. Hey, loving what you're doing with this mod so far. Been playing an RP server, and it's been super cool playing as a mage. Wonder about the new update you're working on. What's planned and what the general goal is for release time. Release time is very soon, I can say that. We're actually working on one of the last things for the mod right now. I mean, there have been a lot of changes. Oh, and I gotta add to the changelog because I changed grimoires. You can now see the tier and the spell school. There are a lot of changes, a lot of good changes. Right now, we are working on the ability to put on equipment to be a conjuration mage or whatever kind of mage you want. That's what we're working on right now. So the evocation stuff is absolutely working. All the modifiers are indeed working. Let's pull up... Yeah, so does this look too busy? Is that too busy right there? Because it's hard to... You know, it just seems like it's a run, but it should be a run-on list, right? Like, it should be a run-on list. Because I gotta tell you exactly what everything is doing. That's a tough one. Let me tell you what. Let's scroll up a little bit. You take a look at the mana. So maybe I can color code this a little differently as well. So let's go back into the leggings, since that is what we are play testing with. So evocation leggings, right? So if I do -100 mana, oh, evocation? Is that a new spell school? Yep, all spells now go into one of 4 spell schools. Evocation, Alteration, Incantation, and Conjuration. So, and I spreadsheeted all of this out. The spreadsheet's not completely done, but it's done enough. There. So I want you to specialize to be the kind of mage that you want to be, right? So evocation is going to be primarily attack spells. There's a new, like, kind of like frontal cone attack spell. You have your classic projectile spell. You have your AoE spell. There are things like Shockwave, which is a knockback. Your classic Spike, Shield, Corpse Explosion. The Ignite spell. So evocation's like primarily attack, but it's more like elemental stuff. So I figured Ignite was fire-based, so that goes in there. Right, so you could specialize in being this type of mage, right? Cataclysm. I still have to make these spells, but these are going to be super, super hard-hitting spells. Alteration, that's your classic buffer healer, right? So if you want to be a buffer and a healer for your party, right? That's all of your buffs that you'd be familiar with. Flash heal has been revamped. You used to not be able to use it on others. Now you can heal whatever your target is. What that actually also means is that if you cast the healing spell on a drifter or anything that has a weakness to healing, like for my elemental modifiers, you will do damage to them instead of healing them, right? So, but you could heal others. The regeneration spell, that's undergone a bunch of change too. There are more healing spells in general. Right, so like I can cast this here, and you see the difference, right? So I did more shader work, you know, like you hear there too, like the whole, like there's a sound that kind of goes with it, like particles fully set on everything. But yeah, that's that. Incantation's gonna be like I got a spell for that kind of class. That's like your befriend animal, like your growth, reap spell, telekinesis, you know, shadow step. It's going to have all of your elemental resists in there too, which are going to be really important when I put in those bosses. So all the people that are like poo-poo, when the elemental bosses are wrecking their faces, they're going to be crying, why is resist fire not good enough? You know, your Root Days, Mark of the Zephyr, any of like the fun stuff, Fly, Blink. I went through Blink and Riftwalker. I made them very fast cast times now, so you can like dart around, which is pretty cool. And then you got Conjuration, right? And Conjuration's gonna be your summoning kind of class, right? So you could summon Light, you could summon Corpse, and then a lot of the stuff's gonna be like a creation-based thing. So you could summon temporary items. I put in a whole system. To where you could give people, like, you can make shovels and hoes, and ultimately, you know, you got like your Bind Affinity, your Summon Portal and stuff, duplicate. But you'll be able to summon ultimate weapons that other people can use as well. So if you're fighting like one of the dragons that I put in for like a final boss, and it's like you know, like a water-based dragon, you will be able to summon the Hellfire. So all these spells are all kind of the same. Like you'll cast them, and then bam, you know, like you summon this item into existence. Someone can run up to it, pick it up, and this thing has 8 hours to live. You know, some basic durability on it. I can always up the durability. I'm going to require feedback for that. But summon temporary items. And this does 3 damage. I gotta change the tooltip for this. It does 3 normal damage and then 3 elemental damage as well per swing. So altogether, that's more than a steel sword does by 1 whole point of damage, because that's only 5. Right? So you can create temporary items. So you can create like the bag of holding, pretty much. It's a huge bag, but it's a temporary item too. I have plans to put in temporary armor and a bunch of other stuff too. So there's a lot. You could summon food. I finally did it. There are now mana buns, mana cupcakes, and mana cakes that you could summon for people to eat. But basically, you're a creation mage. These are all the tools and stuff, all the temporary tools. A lot of fun. Barbecue chicken salad. Woo! Does look a little busy, but I wouldn't know how to declutter. Yeah, right, because it's giving you like what the percentages are. But see, like how like mana's negative now, so it's coming off as you know, it's coming off as like an orange, a bad thing. Hey, man, away. Oasis, that all sounds awesome. The flash heal change is awesome. That was my big gripe about it. It's the first spell I got, but not being able to cast it on other friends felt not great. Also, the new texture for that ball spell is great too. Before it was a flashbang. Yeah, it was. It totally was. I'm curious if there's still an option to be Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, you could just not put on that specific armor, right? Like, you don't have to, but it's going to help. quite a bit. Because unlike before with the attunements where you got worse at other spells, you don't get worse at the other spells. So it would be kind of silly to not specialize in one school or another. You know, there's no negative. I don't put the stick to you. But for those who who know what they want to do and they're like, yeah, I want to be better at this school of magic, then you put on the appropriate equipment and bam. Another big change people are going to absolutely love is the fact that you won't find like fireball and resist fire and all the grimoires that are like elemental based when you're doing spell research anymore. Now you'll be able to create those. So you'll get some crystals, there's a ritual for it, you'll put down the ritual, you'll throw the grimoire you want to change in the middle, and then bam, you're good to go. I approve of these food items. Call them Mana's Bun instead. No. I see what you're going for there. I see. You know how many people would be like, Vice, yeah, you spelt it wrong. Oh, transmutation changed too. Now, transmutation is based on the staff, so you see my icon is changing there. So this is the apprentice, the really easy staff to get. I made it 1 mana point cheaper as well for the basic. But see, it's like a green, there's the blue for the middle, and then there's purple. So now they're all independent spells. So that's what it looks like now. I figured that was a lot better to do for for an orb, for transmutation. And each one is going to do something different too. Like not something different, but like it'll have I built the spell in a way to where I can affect entities that are around as well. So there may come a time when I'm able to, like, you kill something and then maybe you could cast transmutation on it to do something or trigger something or get something. So lot of big changes. Like I said though, that biggest change I think that people are gonna love the most is the fact that transmutation collides with leaves now. That's awesome. I think people are gonna really like this update. This has been a labor of love. Let me tell you. I think one of my favorite spells though is Shockwave. I was gonna say, I don't see it there. Oh, because I'm soul bound to this. Let's see. For Shockwave. I know I have a couple of them. No, just kidding. Apparently I don't have a lot of Shockwaves out. Must have been a fever dream. Oh, I love Shockwave. So watch what I can do to. I'm not gonna do it to him. not gonna. I want that guy to be like contained in there. Come on, there's nothing else around here. Wow, this place is like dead. All right, you know what? I'll just pull out a little piggy. Oh, boar. There we go. We'll just pull this guy out here. And you know what? We'll put him right here. So, Shockwave is a spell you can move and cast like everything else. And bam! So that was stronger. If you catch them when they're falling from the sky, it will actually knock them back a lot more because I do some math with traction. But the regular Shockwave... Oh, damn it, he was falling right when I... It's an AoE too, so if you're surrounded by things, you can knock everything back. Oh, you know what? I think Shockwave is also being magnified by the armor that I have on as well. So I think it's increasing the potency by 50%, so you can yeet things. Alright, we're gonna summon another little guy here. There we go. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. There we go. That's the regular. Okay, so it is because you're falling. Okay. I'm like, did I do the math wrong? What's going on? So yeah, I love Shockwave. It's like one of my favorites now. One of my favorites. That and like all the touch spells, something that's really fast and just like attacks things in a small area in front of you. I like that kind of shotgun blast right in someone's face. Yeah, this is a lot of work went into this. That's all I'll say. Transmute corpse into meat and bones, maybe. I could do anything with this stuff. T-Rex. Oh yeah, I think I read that. Yeah, I'll have a blast in the server. It's really fun. Completely new game now. You all right? Well, when you can specialize, it's gonna get even better. And then when I'm done with this, I can start adding like life drain spells, poison spells. I can put in the summon minion spells as well, because like everything's gonna be set up for this stuff. I kind of want to make a summon minion spell, a specific one for each type of magic. So evocation, obviously, it would be one that would attack. I'm set up. I did a lot of stuff in the back end, so I'm set up to do something like a mirror image spell, where I could potentially create copies of you that will like target your target, and then cast the spells that you cast, which I think would be pretty cool. I can create like a one for alteration, right, to where it's like a buff healing bot or something. You know, something from like conjuration where it's like an elemental that does, I don't know, something else. Maybe the one from incantation could like have an inventory. So Mirage, yeah, I like yeet. You know, I actually have the yeet file in here, right? I really want to create like a bracelet that makes the magic brick hit like 10 times harder. Just because. Just imagine just yeeting. Yeet. Love it. Oh, it's not even throwing anything anymore? Oh, shoot. I gotta fix this with all the spell stuff. Here, let's fix this right now. That's right, because I changed all the modifiers. So that changed too. And that's the only spell that I didn't touch. It's a good thing I tested it out. All right, tier 0. Magician's Brick. Okay, here we go. So yeet, we got fired by, we got the damage. This. Is it not spawning it? You know what? I'm gonna put this as a to-do thing because I'm getting distracted. There we go. So in my to-dos, let's put in let me go to my to-do section. Here we go. So I will say fix Magician's Brick not being prone. There we go. Booyah! Simulacrum, right? Love it. Would be super cool to have little summoning familiars that give you small buffs or fire out some weaker spells and debuffs. Yeah, right? I think it'd be cool. I want to make a summon skeleton spell. I also want to make a summon treant spell too. There's some things that I want to do. You have a grease spell that I can set on fire with a fire spell? No, but that would be kind of cool, right? It could drop like a temporary block or something. And then if you cast like fireball at it or ignite, it becomes like a fire. Although I gotta be careful with stuff like that because then you could like douse your neighbor's house because you hate them and light their shit on fire. I gotta be careful with that stuff. Same reason why fireball doesn't actually burn anything and ignite anything. Like I'm saving you all from yourselves and you don't even know it. It's me, Mario. Next song. There we go. Okay, what was I working on? It was armor, right? Yeah, I was doing the armor. Oh, another neat thing is traders will also have... Whoops. I don't want to throw out the mage candle. There we go. It's really high right now for testing, but you will be able to buy ciphers from the treasure hunter traders. They are going to be available in there, and I brought back the gear caller stat as well, because I understand that rust mages, if you want to go in magic, you will need more rusty gears than normal. So I figure at least a 25% boost in your drop rate. You won't be rich, but it'll feel a lot better when you're doing those rituals. A lot of good stuff. All I'm hearing is fun detected. Summon corpse to work with the corpse spells. What do you mean? Summon corpse does work with, I mean, that pulls a corpse to you. And then if you have corpse swap, you can have like a corpse like over on the other side of a mountain or something, because it's got a 40-yard range now. Or 40, a block, right? It's not technically a yard, it's a block. So you could swap places with the corpse and teleport to the other side of a ravine or something. Or you could just get like Soaring Leap, and you don't have to worry about doing stuff like that. But, yeah. Alright, armor. Armor me. Armor me now. I feel like... it's busy, but I think it's gotta be. You have to know how the stuff, you know, what your modifiers are. You have to know. Maybe this is what I can do. No, because it's not all the same stat. I can't just say increases efficiency of evocation spells by 50%, because technically it doesn't, because it stats damage and durations 50%, right? Mana cost and cast times 25% reduction. So I would be typing out an ugly sentence anyways, right? Trying to be like, well, it's mana cost, and you know, like I don't think there's a good way to display this. This does hurt my eyes a little bit. But this is as busy as it will get. It's not going to get any... You know what? It will get a little busier. Another thing on my to-do list, and I just remembered, is to make the armor have mana regen as well. So let me add that stat, because the thing is, I want meditation to still be kind of competitive at higher levels. It shouldn't be the automatic go-to thing, but you should get a decent amount from meditation. That's not really the case now. I think by the middle of tier 2, like, would people agree that meditation kind of sucks? You're not really... you're probably drinking tea more than anything. So I'm just trying to keep that competitive. So I'm gonna be putting more mana regen stats for meditation on armor as well. So let's do that. I believe I want to look at the body. Yiggity yiggity. And we'll copy this. We'll go back to the legs. Bum, 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 bum. Paste, 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 paste. So I think 3 is too aggressive. We're gonna put it at 1 and see how it looks with all the armor on. Keep going to the wrong thing. Here we go. Oh, we gotta reload. That's right. Changing evocation and spell cast speed, etc. would allow you to remove the spell cast speed, for example. That could be an option. It does, see, it would be getting a little more clunky. A little more clunky for the coding part of it, because it's going to be like a run-on kind of huge essay block of just code. Right? It's either I'm going to hurt with a scenario like that, or our eyes are going to hurt just like this. Does it really look that bad? Am I trying to talk myself into it? Is this where I'm like, is it really so bad, everyone? I mean, look, it's telling you all the right information. Can't we all just, you know, can we all just agree that it's great that I'm displaying stats to you? Oh, man. Meditation does suck, talking about that as well. Will there be more alternative ways to regenning mana other than armor and attunement? Well, I don't think attunement does it. There's Riftbloom Tea. If you don't know Riftbloom Tea, you gotta get some. It's fantastic, and it scales with your magic tier. So the Riftbloom Tea is like the biggest thing. I do want to make a system. So here's the idea, and I think I can do it after this update. So I want to create a block that you put down, and you will be able to store your mana inside of this block, like a mana bank, I guess you could say. And then what you will be able to do is distill that stored mana down into potions, mana potions that you could then use later, right? Because when you die, you lose all your mana. So if I were to die right now, 174 mana, gone. Yeah, having something where you could store your mana for later and then make on-demand mana potions, that's the idea. Let's see here. Does look a little cluttered. Gotta be careful not to feed the instant gratification itch. Yeah. And it's made from seeds, which is the only reason I don't use it. Oh, really? Once your farm gets big enough, I mean, seeds shouldn't be too much of a problem. Maybe, maybe not. Use rift anchors. I would use rift anchors. But you missed me putting in tea in that question. I know about tea, but I always feel like I need all the seeds I can get, and I don't want to use the seeds on tea. See, that's the rub, though. The Riftbloom Tea. Okay, so Riftbloom Tea is good. You have to have the Chalix with it. If you have one of these, it doubles the potency of your Riftbloom Tea for your level, right? So just by doing this, I can get the empowered version of that buff, which it does increase it by half, and this holds more servings. Now, I'm also going to make Riftbloom Seeds something that you could buy from traders as well. So I have other ways you will also be able to do things. Oh, look! Isn't that nice? Out of here. Transmutation! I should make it to where it like enrages these. It makes them like more powerful. They attack faster. They have more health. You think people would get mad? You think people would be okay with that? No, right? They wouldn't be that mad. Maybe make a mana decrease by half instead when you die or something of the sorts. Maybe. See, this is the problem though. No, I can't do that because there's got to be some kind of consequence because I'm thinking about future systems, and it's a lot harder to put in restrictions than it is to release a restriction, right? So what's to stop someone from killing themselves, right? and spawning back in, having their temporal stability maxed out back again and everything, and then going right back in their home, and then sitting down and meditating, getting all the mana they can, storing it in the potion vat that I want to make, and then killing themselves again and just harvesting all the mana that they could want. Right? What's to stop people from doing that? It's hard, right? It's hard. Like, at least have, like, I don't know. I can look at when you die not losing your mana as much, but I feel like, I don't know. I gotta think about that. I think there's another reason that I'm not thinking about right now as to why I did it. And I have a feeling it's... Why did I do that? There was something. I'll have to think about it. I can't think of it. There was something. I rarely do something just because. Even if it's funny, right? Why did you put Magician's Brick? Because the video was hilarious. And it's also because everyone was bitching and complaining how archery was so much better for damage. So I put in the Magician's Brick. I like Dark Souls Flask, but for mana. Recharge from your mana at a magic station consumes value or charges on use. I guess it'd be something like that. I do have they're all disabled right now, but I do have the mechanisms for that system. I just need to, like, pretty it up and actually, like, you know... It sounds weird, like, do the majority of the work. Do the work that matters. You know, that you would see. Like, putting in the little statement to actually replenish your mana, right? And subtract from the watched attribute. My farm is 2 stacks of seeds and I'm constantly out of fibers. You'll get there. Once you get past, like, I think into tier 2 is when I had, like, an overabundance of everything. I had over 1,000 shifting fibers. Now, I went hardcore in it, and I didn't really get to, you know, eat anything more than berries, and I lived in a box. But I could bring back Life Tap. Maybe. So what you know what? This is a good question here. Let me go into another world. What happens when you die? Let's go into this test world. I don't want to kill myself in that world. You can make a dedicated magic trader. Nope. No, I cannot, man away. Because that's gonna rely on me putting in world gen stuff, because they're gonna have to have a place set up. I'm not gonna do that. My trader farm. Trader farm. All right, I need to lower my temporal stability. But I gotta move. I can't put in things to you know, that's gonna require world gen. I pride myself on the fact that you don't need world gen. I gotta be careful. It's the one promise I can't break. Because then I'd have to update the ModDB page, and I'm kind of lazy, so... I'm so lazy! My farm last time I played was 4 stacks of seeds, and I lost capacity every time I harvested. And if I did anything other than chase rifts and make new seeds to fill out the farm, I had a constancy deficit. Tea is not even a topic. Well, are you using rift anchors, or are you using the regular flowers? Because I'm curious about that. I'm curious. If it's rift anchors, then yeah. And the thing is, I do want you to be grocery shopping at a rift, but also at tier 2, you can force spawn rifts, right? You can close rifts, get the rift charges, and basically you could set up a farm to, here we go. Okay, let's do, let me walk away. Kill myself. Let me go back here. Let's do game mode 2 or game mode 1. Kill. Did something change? Did something change? I thought when you died before, it used to refill your temporal stability. If it doesn't do that anymore, there may be hope. Dude, make it a spell, drain mana. Nah, drain mana lantern? No, because tier 3 mana lantern? I don't know. I'm tier 2 and I use more than ever. Are you harvesting with transmutation? Are you taking advantage of greater transmutation for your shopping needs? I don't even know where I am in this world. All right, save and quit. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to test that one thing. All right, let's hop back into the other world. Oh, when holding a mana lantern in your left hand and cast the spell. That's getting into my imbue elements spell that I had and then disabled. I don't know. It could be on the table. It's not going to be in the scope of this next thing. Then the next goal is to increase meditation mana regen and a bunch of other stuff. What the hell is this wolf doing here? Hold on, Wolfie. I don't know how you got here, but I know how you're leaving. Get off my mountain! You shall not pass! Hey, my maximum mana increased! Freaking love this so much. I don't know why I like this spell so much. Because I get to bully him. That's why. It's more waiting until I found a rift. Sometimes spend 4 to 5 in-game days before they spawn. Use the Rift Weaver. Yeah. Use the Rift Weaver. Force them on demand. Oh, I knew it. I thought you don't regain your stability. I was confused when he said it refreshes it. Yeah, there was a time when you died, you gained full temporal stability back. When that happened, I was like, ugh. Like, what the hell does it do that for? All right. So, I mean, now that things have changed, maybe I could look at that stuff. But the important stuff is armor, right? Armor. Leggings. Here we go. You know what I could do to spread this out a little bit? What can I do? Because I have 3 pieces of armor that the 50% and 25% has to be spread across, right? And I could potentially divvy stuff up a little bit, right? I could say, maybe the chest piece can have the spell, the mana cost, and the cast time reductions. And then maybe... Oh, I have a question about max mana. How does the calculation work for mana experience? Is it just math.pound magical experience times 1.5? Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, so at level 10, yeah, you got it. I think you got it there. I could show you exactly where it is here. But yeah, that is what it is. So, and really it's just a curve enough to where to get your next mana point, it takes just a little bit more magic experience. All right, where is the... Here we go, magic knowledge. Yeah. So basically, I take your player mana, right? Like what your maximum is for your player mana. I don't dock you for any other sources. It's just your personal, hard-earned experience mana. And then I put in the multiplier, which the default is the 1.35, I believe. Yep, 1.35. That way each time you level up, right? So it would be 11, you know, to the power 1.35. So that's how it works. And it directly correlates to the amount of mana that you spend in spells. So there are people who sit there and like, I do nothing but cast transmutation and this is so slow. Yeah, because it's giving you like a droplet of experience and you're not even doing anything with it, you know? Like, you know, put a buff on yourself. Do, you know, use magic for magic's sake. Because in the beginning, like when you first start off, it is worth spamming transmutation all you can. But I think around like the 20 to 25 max mana, it drops off significantly. You don't really feel it. You're better off doing rituals, and by that time you have a decent mana pool anyways, because you should be finding things to do meditation research with, and you should have your initial set of armor, right? And that apprentice armor gives you, what, 15... that would be 20... So what does it give you? 30 max mana to add to your pool just by putting on all 3 pieces of armor, right? So if you're already sitting at 30, then you have 60 max mana, which means you could expend more to level faster, on top of any of your meditation insight research as well, right? So I want you to be able to go through different avenues instead of just pure transmutation casting, you know, to increase your magic experience. Does it also include the mana from artifacts? You mean like mana from armor? No, it's just magic experience. Meditation insight and armor bonus are completely different. Negative 100 for my armor bonus, because these leggings have a negative effect. It's magic! I think what makes leveling a bit confusing is that it's not clear that mana spent equals more experience, as mana and experience are basically the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. Basically. And the thing that, it's not confusing, it's something to learn. I am a huge fan of a mod that doesn't give you all the answers and makes you have to find things out. So something like that, if someone else isn't in here asking that question, I'll tell people if they want to know, but I'm never going to record that. Never going to record. That's something that's like insider knowledge that everyone here listening now has, and that changes things, right? Now you know your transmutation casting that you thought was the most efficient way ain't the case anymore. Maybe you want to put a swiftness on yourself. Maybe you want to buff other people. Maybe you want to complete some rituals, right? Like, it's not all about the spell casting. Make a grimoire, you know? And I have it set up now to where I could potentially have other sources of mana experience as well. I have hook-ins to be able to get some by damaging some things or killing some things like the boss. I have a couple methods made to where if you kill something with the behavior that I made, it will grant you a big bonus in magic experience. On top of that, you also have the crystallized memories that you could get a solid 5% increase to your magic experience too, right? So there's item consuming as well. So there are ways to do it. There are ways. Posture check. Hey, I think I'm sitting up all right. Let me yeah, there we go. There. Oh, agreed. I made a spreadsheet with all the math and stuff, figuring out how long it would take to level up. What spell is most efficient in that way. It was very fun. I gotta know, because I did not fully spreadsheet it out. The spreadsheet that I have though it's incomplete because I gotta change the cast times and base mana costs and everything. But I did spreadsheet out like elemental modifiers and stuff for creatures and whatnot. What spells are some of the best in the current setup? Now, mind you, wands are disappearing. They're going away in the next update. So all those lesser versions of the spells, gone. What are the good spells? All right, armor. I'm focused, everyone. I'm super focused. I think I've been staring at this for a while now. Looks good. Oh, I was thinking about ways to separate this out, right? I basically got to divide by 3. But I may be able to divide by 2 depending on how I want to divvy this up, right? So maybe mana cost and cast time. Man. I think... I don't like how this is set up, I don't think. Because before I blocked it all off so you have all these spells and all the evocation. What if it looked different? What if I had like spell mana cost and then evocation spell mana cost one after another, and then spell cast time, then evocation spell cast time, right? Group up the mana cost cast time, right? Those attributes instead of the beginning attributes. Let's try it. And you know what? I don't think I like mana regen up top, huh? I don't have all the spells there. I only have all the wands for tier 1 and their experience gain, which is now obsolete since mana spent is basically the only thing that matters for experience gain. I could post it if you want to see. It would be interesting. I would assume, because there's a fine line, right? Because you also have to keep an account transmutate or meditation as well, right? How much mana can you get back before you can't get any more, and or put yourself in danger, right? By dropping your stability too much. Like what is the optimum flow? Am I able to post links in here without getting bonked? I think, you know, I don't think you could post it in here. If you are in my Discord, oh crap, I don't know if you could do it in Discord anymore. I don't know. I may have fixed it. I think that I don't think that was the thing I had to do, but it's something I did forget to do, like re-enable that. I just want a transmutation only wand. Only transmutation. You put another spell on there, I'm sending it back. Just for chores while you work up to your first staff. But you don't need that anymore. Just get a staff. That's basically what I did. Just get a staff. Like now to create a staff. Oh, that's the Archmage. Hold on. Apprentice staff. There you go. You think you could afford that? I think you can. I think you got it. If you don't have a couple sticks, 2 shifting fibers, and 1 arcanus, go home. You're drunk. Too drunk. Too drunk. Here, let me put this down. Get it out of here. Let's get rid of my mage candle. I'm gonna keep this on. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, armor. Let me just take these off. Let's just hold the leggings. So what I'm thinking is I can have like general magic stats, right? So I can branch them off into... God, it really does feel bad having those other modifiers like that. But the idea is that, I mean, to specialize, I want you to specialize, right? All right, let's rearrange this. I think it may be a little more visually pleasing if I just reorder this a little bit. So we have the max mana, then we have the mana there. Let's create a little more space. So let me just take like evocation, for instance. Pop that in there. Cut that out. And put this one, just create a bunch of space here. Put that one right there. right? What does something like this look like? And let me get rid of the divider. I don't think that divider is needed. Oh, I forgot to... no, I didn't forget to get rid of the old. Yeah, no, that's fine. So everything's together. You know, I don't like that. Now it feels like it's too busy. It's too busy. I don't think there's a good way to get past this. I don't think there's... You know what? I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I got to come out with the update. I think it'll be fine. Oh, starting to undo other stuff here. There we go. Am I okay to DM you the spreadsheet? Yeah. Or, yeah, if you want to just pop a snapshot in there. Yeah, DM me. Go ahead. People do it all the time. I'm cool with it. I don't mind people. You know, as long as you're not trying to sell me anything. I get a lot of people who are like, please, can I make you an icon or something? Like, my sister's in the hospital and I need to make rent and I'm 7 years past due and, you know, trying to hold in. My mother's sick. We need medicine. Like, sorry, man. It sucks, but I also know that that story is probably fake, so... No, I don't want to buy an icon. Thank you. So that's where we're at again. I think what I could do to make this look a little better, maybe. Okay, what if I do this? Hold on. Probably do something like specialty in there. Where is it? What if I branch it off like that? Maybe not specialty, that's not the right word, right? I think that looks a lot better. That fixed the hurt I had in my eyes. Right? Because now you have your general magic stats. You'll have your specialized magic stats, right? So evocation, whatever, alteration, specific stuff. You got your magic protection, right? So it's... Oh, my eyes. Oh, thank God. And it was so easy to do. Oh, I love being lazy. I'll leave it specialty for now. It's not staying specialty. I gotta think of what I want to call this. It's not gonna be like attunement. It's gonna be like your specific stuff. Harder to read, and the order is messed up done. I think it's an interesting insight on leveling in the mod, to be honest. It's slightly cluttered though. Yeah, well, it's this kind of feedback that I like too, right? Like I don't have time to spreadsheet and test every aspect. If that's the case, it'd take me like 6 months to push out an update. I gotta shotgun this stuff out and rely on people's feedback. Delicious life-giving water. I busted back out the old tumbler here, my Mario tumbler. Has Vice engraved on it. Love this thing. Love it. It's freaking sweet. It's a big boy too. It's the biggest one I could find. Yeah, so this works. Well done. Well done. Alright, so let's go back into the armor. Now, I have to divide up these stats. I have to divide up the stats. So that it's even, because everything's just on the leggings right now. So let's pull up... We have the max mana of 150, 100. What's the helmet? Where's that one? Where's that window? Quiet, wolf. I don't need any lip from you. I'm gonna go to bed. All right, you have a good night. It's only 4:15 here. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to live stream for. I am getting kind of hungry, so I kind of want to eat something. But I want to play Oblivion too. But I think tonight's either going to be Oblivion or it's going to be working on the mod some more, because if I can get this armor set up, spend the time to get a couple things localized, I think the update is ready to be tested on a multiplayer server. So I'll be firing up the multiplayer server, casting a bunch of spells, checking it out, making sure everyone sees the particles still. I got a lot to do. A lot of stuff. So I think for the max mana, let's get rid of that negative. I think that's fine. There's 152, so you get 300 max mana from that. For the mana regen, I'm actually going to add it to all 3 pieces of armor. So, okay, here we go. All 3 pieces of armor will give you meditation mana regen. Here we go. Here, we'll space this out a little bit. And then all 3 pieces. So, okay, so instead of this, how do I want to sort it out? Should it be like 15? Should be, it should be just about even. I think you are still making the staff too cheap to make. You can remove the wands, fine with me. Just want my transmutation wand. Well, that's the thing. The staff has become the transmutation wand. And you only get 2 spell slots with this basic staff, right? So you don't have the full bore anymore. This is the apprentice staff. You have the weak transmutation, right? So, and then when you get grimoires, that's what it is. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Because you can also just get a shovel really fast, or you can nap an axe pretty fast. With this, like, the hardest part really is getting that Arcanus. It is going to take some resources, right? You got to get some rot. You're going to have to do some stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll make something, man. I'll make like a poll. Be like, hey, everyone, is this too cheap? Yes or no? All right, what was I doing? What was I looking at? Okay, oh, in here. I gotta find where my old armor was. Where's the old stats? Okay, I don't need that window up anymore. Here we go. So the headpiece, the old headpiece. So mana cost 0-1. That's not right. Okay, so it wasn't that. No, I deleted it all? Man, I'm gonna have to like re-download my mod to see what the old stats were. No, I can wing this. If I do 10, okay, so the headpiece is gonna be the weakest across the board. Copy this. We're gonna paste this in, and we will paste this in, right? Get rid of that. Start cleaning stuff up. Okay, so the best is going to be the body. Let's make that 10. And then probably 8. And then 7. Make the 25? Right? Yeah. 7 plus 8 plus 10 should be 25. So let me clean up the rest of this stuff here. Do. So now, all right, we're gonna have to do something else here. I have to add the by type modifier over here and add it. Oh, it's already added there. So let me just copy this and paste this into here. Carry over some of the stuff. 07, 07. Get rid of that, and I can get rid of all of that. There we go. Now I'm doing it by type. We're focusing on just evocation for now. Transmutation and 2 other custom slots. That should take some work to make. Now making a wand that can only cast transmutation just as a tool, you could start gaining experience and chores. See, the problem is that tool has a very short shelf life, because you will want to use transmutation 2 and 3 as you get them for your primary things. So transmutation itself is just a little stepping stone. I don't want to add another wand in there that does just transmutation. Ain't that good of a spell. It's not that good of a spell. It's more work. Like, why not just have the staff? Like, it's the apprentice staff. And it's already a segue into you wanting to get more spells. It's an all-in-one tool. I don't know. I do not agree with this, but if others agree with it more, because my nose is really close to this project. I listen to Discord. Get a discussion going in it. Let's get a discussion going. As it sits right now, if no, everyone else seems like it seems to think it's a great idea just getting into a staff, because that's where the real magic is. Yeah, all the people who want just the transmutation wand and stuff, y'all gotta speak up. Get those voices heard. I could be persuaded. All right. So that's 07. That is 10. Let me get rid of the rest of this stuff here. That is 8, right? Let's go ahead and specifically put in this stuff because we're working with evocation. So for these, this should mirror it, right? So, whoops, this is going to be 08. Whoops. If I could type, this is going to be 08. This is going to be 07, 07. And this is going to be 10. And that's going to be 10. Yeah, but it's too easy to make. But it's too easy to make for 3 spell slots. Technically, it's 2. You're not going to win this argument with me because I don't see it that way. So we both have conflicting views. It's going to take discussions, right? It's going to take discussions here because it's the apprentice staff. The other staffs are definitely more expensive, but yeah, I think it's an overall solid change. But like I said, I'm really close to it. I can tell you right now, in this stream, we are not going to be putting in the wand that just does transmutation. We won't be doing that. But I could be persuaded, if people are talking about it and people want, if they think it's a good idea to have a wand that only does transmutation, like, I could be persuaded. But it's gonna take other people to also talk about it too. That's all I'll say on it. That's all I'll say. So we got the 10, 8, and 7s. All right, so the rest of the stats now would be here. That's already done, and this, right? So a 50% increase in duration. So what am I gonna do? Like a... Probably could go with 25 here. The chest piece, I think, is always gonna... It's always gonna be the best piece. Leggings, not so much. So 25... And then 15? Maybe I could do 15, right? So 25, whoops. That would be 40, and then 10. Cake! That should give me my 50%. So by having all 3 pieces of armor on, you are going to have the increase, right, to your casting mana efficiency, and you will be better at duration, damage, stats, right? The big pieces of the pie. You were so stoked on the wands when you first came up with them. Well, I was, because that was my flat tire fix for people complaining that they had... See, and the other thing is people were complaining that they had no magic and they didn't feel like a mage until they finally got grimoires. So I was stoked about the wands, not because it cast transmutation. It's because it cast other spells, like attack spells and buffs, and it gave you a taste of mana. In hindsight, I probably should have just made it to where you got into casting, you know, creating grimoires and stuff faster. Like, that should have been my goal. Now I put the wands in, and now all I'm hearing about is these wands. I want them to become transmog things. I want to make the Harry Potter wands. But I can't do that. Didn't change the leg duration modifier to 10. Oh, I didn't? Well, the leg duration modifier is 15. So 10 for the head, 15 for the legs, and 25 for the chest will give you that 50% culmination, right? I'm spreading the love. That also leaves you with +3 mana regen. If you have a mana pool of 200, and it adds 3 mana per tick for meditation. That feels bad, huh? That feels bad. What if I do 3 mana regen, like a 3-2-1? 3-2-1. What about something like that? That way each tick, let's see how that feels. I'm gonna put on the armor. We are going to meditate. See how that feels. I think you can get, if it's 5%, right, you get 20 ticks. So that would mean meditation would give you, if it's 7 mana points, it would give you 70 mana going start to finish. Tier 3. Maybe. It's currently at 50. What are you talking about? This is what we're looking at. It's not at 50. This is it. If you're looking down here, yeah, none of these change. Like, that's for alteration, incantation, and conjuration. This is what we're looking at right here. 15. Those are the modifiers right there. The headpiece? Really? Oh! I see what you... Okay. You could have let that slide. Everyone else like, shh, don't tell him. I would have noticed something weird when my stats were like astronomical. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm like, wait, no legs? The legs look fine. The legs are fine. See, it's 25. Oh, that's great. That's great. You know, I might as well, nothing else is going to change too drastically here. I'm going to paste this 4 times. And we are going to do a search for evocation. And I'm going to change it to alteration. We're going to do the same thing here. So evocation to incantation. and evocation to conjuration. Bam. Oasis, I think you're the only one actually watching the stream. Everyone else is just listening. They're probably like, yeah, Vice got it, right? I hear he's saying it's 15, 25. There we go. Also, reposting question. Have you ever thought about adding an alternate way to change active spells on your staff? Like crouching and scrolling, for example? That is not easy to do. That is not easy to do. I have considered that. It's a lot more work than I am willing to put into a mod that I don't get paid for. Right? That's really what it comes down to. Like, I already put a lot of time in this. It would be nice to not crouch and do it, but I'm building out some pretty extensive. If I'm gonna put time into something like that, I might as well make my own dimensions and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I might as well fix the whole dimension system, right? Create my own so we can have a nether and stuff, right? Because I'm still there's a lot of foundational game work to put in for that. You know what I mean? I would love to do it. Yeah, I would love to do it. That's fair, honestly. It would be amazing to have, but I get it's pretty complicated. Yeah, because you would basically be building out a secondary hotkey system. It's the same reason why, like, when you have buffs, I don't have a little Xbox or anything, right, to where you could turn buffs off. I don't have that because someone had said the swiftness, they wanted to be able to cancel a buff because the swiftness spell was too hard to move around with in tight spaces. And I'm thinking, like, well, you could also just walk normal. You don't have to sprint everywhere. You could also sneak. Like, it also makes it to where you walk at like normal speed if you sneak. You know what I mean? Let me win the lotto and pay you to do it, all right? You gotta win that lotto. You think you'll have it done by tomorrow? It'd be great if it was on a Friday. I don't even know. Do they even do like the numbers and stuff? Do they do that on Friday? Because this is the other thing too, right? You're talking about with like scroll wheel. So right now that's for your hotbar itself. Like, you know, like to put it, you would have to put in like a key modifier like control and then scroll maybe, but you would have to hijack the hotbar system while that modifier was being pressed to then cycle through like a list of spells. I'm not sure because I don't use Harmony at all. There's always the F key, but he has a working system. What are you talking about, F key? To like cancel a spell? Oh, you mean to swap, right? F like swaps into your offhand. But that's just a key swap. That's moving an item from one slot to another open slot. That's not really changing your spells, right? Because you would have to create a list here and then be able to cycle through that list. I mean, it may be easier to do than I give it credit for, but maybe. Gore Trotter, hey! Oh, hold on, I'm missing some stuff here. Yeah, it's true. It'd be the same way as now. Press 2 buttons and then click with the mouse, which doesn't feel great. Yeah, true. We're just trying to work on magic attribute stuff. We are creating. Oh, I gotta fix those too. But we are creating the spell attribute system to where you could get like evocation specific equipment to be better at being an evocation mage. So if I throw away, we don't need both of these spells. Let's just do Fireball 3. Let's put this back on. I need armor. So let's do Archmage equipment. Here we go. Colors don't really matter. I don't really care. There we go. Pop that on. So all of these together, I should see the same stats, right? 50%. Here, we will test. Let me just look at this. So it's not quite 50%, but it's getting up there. Let's put on the helmet. Oh, I didn't pull out all evocation stuff. Those were the regular ones. All right. Hold on. Just kidding. Not those. Let me look specifically for evocation. Here we go. Temporal Jonas. There we go. Grab that. And the chest piece. Why not? Oh, let's get my mana back. No, that's X. F on F key on tool. Change what you do with the tool. Or at least I've used X for swapping offhand. Oh, is that it? That's the whole skill system, isn't it? And you're not too late. You're not too late. I got taken back there. Either way, I would have to. That's a system I know very little about. So either way, I'm still doing some R&D to try and do something. For now, it's gonna feel a little clunky, but hopefully other things don't feel as clunky, so it's not as noticed. There we go. That is a 50% increase for everything. Well, decrease for the mana, like 50% in the positive direction that you would want, right? So mana's decreased by 50%. The cast time went from 12 to 6. Damage, 22.5. Looking sweet. And if I were to socket this, I should see the same information in the staff. Yep. Man, Fireball 3 doing 22 points of damage, 22.5 damage before it even has anything else applied to it. If something has a weakness, it magnifies it even further. A 6-second cast speed while you can run and sprint. Being an evocation mage is pretty beastie. Fireball. And that's not even accounting for all the other spell haste stuff and all the other stuff, because I want to add necklaces, belts, bracelets. Well, what do I have slotted? The necklace, the wrist, the belt. I think that's it for now. It was gonna be those three things I was gonna make some stuff with. I was actually gonna make a conjuration mage, be able to create temporary equipment that you could put on in these slots, to maybe not even boost mana, but things for like run speed, you know, little things like that. So this is looking pretty good here. Now I'm going to do some cleanup later tonight for the specialty. That name will change. I have to go through and put the string restriction so you don't get the decimal points here when you're looking at the armor. But that's kind of it. Oh, and also I need to do a couple other things. Since you said you're pretty close to being done with the update, what do you plan to work on after, or or no specific plans yet? Seems like a pretty damn big update. Yeah, I'm gonna go on standby because I know there's probably bugs and stuff. So I'll just listen for a good week on like bug fixes. If I feel like hopping on like a stream and I'm like, you know what, we're making the drain life spell today, right? We'll expect things like that where it's like onesie and twosie. I could get something like the itch to be like, we're creating the minion system, right? I'm creating we're doing summon skeleton first. So it could be things like that. I could get it in my head to where I want to finally put the wyvern and dragon stuff in for bosses, and we start doing that, and then I'll probably put a mount and saddle on them so you could actually like tame them and use them as a mount. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be there are things I want to do, and it kind of depends on my mood. But that's the base. And then of course I want to play more Mines of Moria and Oblivion as well. All right, let's get rid of that. So this is, for all intents and purposes, done. Let's go to dash tier 3. Is that gonna get me what I want? There we go. Okay, so the Archmage stuff. I'm gonna have to create a lot of keys here. Because you will have... Oh, man, that's just for the robes. God damn, I have a lot of keys here. Now, can I modify this? Let me think about this. Is there a smarter way to do this? You know what? I think there is. We're gonna do something clever. I don't want to do this whole copy and paste bullshit. We're doing something. We're doing this a little better. Let's go to... First, I gotta find the method. I gotta find what I found before. This may not be an easy task. This may sink our battleship right here. Okay, so it's not in Grimoire. Oh, that's it, right? Oh, get held. Oh no, get held name. That was something different. A call by the inventory when you hover over an item stack. This is the item stack name that is getting displayed, right? So, okay, so I could copy this. Let's pull up one of these. Item wearable soulbound. Let's pull that up. Item wearable soulbound. I haven't said it in a while. But I hate combat overhaul. I feel weird not talking about it for so long. I feel weird. So I could do like plus of... Now this will do it for everything, but let's just see if this actually works. Let's safely shut down so I keep all my equipment. Telling you, Vice, later down the line it would be very epic if with higher tier spells would have extra effects. Tier 1 fireball, simple projectile. Tier 2 breaks to multiple smaller ones. Tier 3 the small projectiles bounce 3 times, stuff like that. You don't have to tell me. Now what I'm telling you is, how are you going to program all of that? How are you going to program the collision bounce? How are you going to program the 1 becoming 2 without overlapping and killing themselves? How are you going to get the their trajectory? How are you going to do all of that? I'm curious. Put that code on my desk. I want it by the morning. I see. One last question. Now, you can ask as many questions as you want. That's why I do these streams, to interact. It gets kind of boring when I'm just sitting there with my nose in a spreadsheet, not getting any feedback. At least if I get one person being like, that looks awesome, I'm like, yes! You know, right? I saw there are many items like the Heart of Harmony. I couldn't figure out if that's implemented to be made normally or not. It is not. Those were test beds for the old attribute systems. I think they all still work in the new update, but it was the thing to like test what can I do with armor and equipment and stats. So that's what that was, right? You have like the Codex of Destruction and things like that. So and there it was test for like the models too, right? Because they're all bracelets, so putting the bracelet on to do whatever. Yeah, and that was because boss monsters are going to drop like necklaces and stuff at random. that will give special spell stats. There will be rare drops from other creatures as well. I can add to their loot table, right? So I want you to potentially find like a necklace of endless breath. And when someone puts that on, it gives them the underwater breathing buff, right? Or, you know, like maybe a necklace that of spell haste, right? And increases your spell haste by a certain spell school by X%, right? You know, things like that. So I want you, you know, when you become a powerful mage, right? Like yeah, created by synthesis. Yeah, it used to be. That was the plan, but I had backed out. All right, I didn't mean those effects exactly. But I want to add, I just meant that it would be nice if higher tiers would bring more interesting effects rather than simply more damage and stuff. And again, I don't disagree. But what are those effects, and how are you going to balance it over? I won't even throw in the elements, right? Just assume all the elements are the same. What would the effects be to make them all unique, and how would you code them in? You know what I mean? It's like, I hear it. It would be nice, but you know what that also is? That is lawyer talk, sir, right there. That is lawyer talk. Wouldn't it be nice if everyone just wouldn't go hungry? And everyone had enough food and water to live comfortably. Well, how you gonna do it? Right? Like, how do we get there? How do I make the shaders to do the, you know? How do I deal with the entities to make the thing? I couldn't even figure out how to shoot projectiles, you know, the particles forward in an area in front of you, right? Like it's like I don't know how to get just that cone. There's a lot of math that I'm still noob-ish on. But if you know that math, please let me know. It would be nice to expand the spells, right? But I got like a lot of other things to do too. So for now, a projectile spell is going to be a sniping projectile spell. Now, after I'm done with like Cataclysm and Void Pulse and Inferno and all those other spells, the positional AoE spells, then I can go back and maybe start expanding that stuff. But for now, it's, you know, it's a fireball. It hits and it hurts. I don't see people being like, hey man, I want an arrow, right? A bow, but you lob a shot and it's like a scatter shot, right? Like, it would be cool, but how would you do the math on that? Right? Because you would have to like snapshot the velocity, find a way to calculate specifically at a confined random what your new velocity would be without compounding and hurting the old. And everything would come from a focal point in itself, so it would technically be colliding with other projectile entities, which when they collide with something, kill themselves off and try to deal damage, right? So you would have to put in exemptions to look for other particles that are like itself in the new projectile particle with the new rendering, right? It's cool. I just don't know how to do it. And I don't have time to really look into it. So, yeah, thought it's a secret recipe. No, there are meant to be item drops and stuff. Well, but yeah. You can always admin them to you. You can always just pull a little cheat. Okay, so everything has of conjuration in the name now. Right? So Archmage Yellow Trousers Temporal has the Temporal Jonas of Conjuration. This sucks. Maybe what I can do. Okay, this is what I can do. Let's go back in. I can make this work. Oh my god, you know what? All this time that I'm taking to do this, I could have already copy and pasted everything and done like sweeping changes. to all of this stuff. This would be done right now. Everything would be localized. What is wrong with me sometimes? I get rabbit holed. That's what it is. I get rabbit holed. Rabbit hole myself. I got it, everyone. Stand back. Hold my beer. Right, because I could have easily, right? 1, 2, 3, right? There we go. So we got the regular, and then I just copy all this, and I could say if you see this tier 3, put in tier T-TIR 3 evocation. Bam. Right? Technically, yeah, I could do evocation here, right? And then this would be alteration. Bam. And this would be incantation. And this would be conjuration. Boop. Right? And then I can go back through here. Oh no, what did it do? Wait. Oh, I did the wrong things. Maybe it's not as easy as I thought. Let's just undo all that shit. What did I do? Oh, I meant to... Okay, so I copied all of this, right? So that's the hat, the trousers, and the robes. We're gonna make a bunch more space. Hey, stereo. Let me put a little more space in between those. Now I can copy all of this. This is what it is, right? And all of this, conjuration. 33, that's better. All of this would be incantation. All of this would be alteration. And then all of this would be evocation. Right? And now I can copy all of this again, and I can do a search where it says, okay, if you see this at the end, then go ahead and put in of evocation. Bam. Oh, I forgot to put in a space. Let's undo. Space of evocation. Right? So copy all that. Selection. Bam. Look at all that. All that localized. He's so smart. Sign my mod. Alteration. Here we go. Done. Sometimes I just... I overcomplicate things. Incantation. And the last one, conjuration. There we go. Localized, save, fireball. Come into the game, reload, lang. There we go. Now let's go into my armor. Oh, these are the Rusty Jonas, so I'm gonna have to do it for each type, but there it is. Oh, it still has the old of conjuration. Let's remove that. There we go. Where is it? There it is. I'm gonna leave this method in. There we go. Beautiful. If only I play in an RP server, so I can't admin anything. You gotta run the server, that's why. I'm just trying to give you ideas for potential future ideas so you don't run out of them. Not trying to overload you with work or whatever. I respect your work. Oh no, it's fine. Trust me, I have a bunch of ideas too. I'm just like, how the hell am I gonna do that? Like, it's a cool idea, but Do I want to fumble through that, or should I fix the spells that aren't working, right? Should I try and find the way to make it to where people, you know, don't have the rubber banding, right? Should I fix transmutation finally so it doesn't go through tree leaves, right? But if you know anything about like coding though, if you're like, hey, yeah, you could do velocity like blah, trust me, I am always on, you know, I'm always for it. There we go. Archmage Robe of Evocation. Oh, this is the Rusty Jonas. Okay, so let's do this. What if I add something in here? Let's make a string variable. Let's call it armor type equals, and it could equal nothing, right? It'll just be empty. And let's go ahead and paste in armor type, right? Now let's take a look at, let's put an if statement in. And I can say if this dot, oh, you know what? It could be item stack, right? We could just do item stack dot, oh, that's not the item stack I want. I want little item stack. Stop auto-correcting for me, damn it! I want that item stack. There we go. Jeez, dude. Collectible.code.path.contains. Now let's do what is this? Rusty Jonas. Let's put in dash Rusty Jonas dash, right? So if it contains Rusty Jonas, why don't I put in the qualifier for it, which would be this, right? Just like this. Not qualifier, but whoops. Just put that in. Right? So it pre-pinned it there, but it's not doing it on this, right? So now what if I go through, I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of this stuff. Armor basic planes, so that's all the basic. So what if I take all the basic stuff here and I change anything that is dash basic to dash wildcard, right? Save that, pop that in. Dot reload lang, right? So, okay, Rusty Jonas plane. Okay, so that is specifically the evocation for the helmet for Rusty Jonas, right? Let me take a screenshot of this because I have to see the whole name. Let's put it off to the side. There we go. Okay, now let's look back in here. So this is going to be armor head wildcard dash plane dash tier 3. So let's just do, I'm gonna have to make a version that's a wildcard here. Oh no, you know what? Crap, I may have to put another dash in here. Like dash evocation, instead of just having it all be together. Because then I should be able to just, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. So it's the plain one, it should just be that one. I'm not gonna go all crazy with it yet. Dot reload lang. Alright, reloaded the language files. There we go. So now it's localizing everything. All the hats should be localized the same. Let's do Archmage hat. So it is. It's actually localizing the... Oh, because you know what? It's basic. This works out pretty damn well. So what that means is everything here, if it is colon or quotation colon, right? Now I can just add wild card to it. Just like that. Which means all of this stuff. Let's do the dash basic. Replace it with dash wildcard. So that should take care of all of the Archmage equivalent like equipment, right? Right there. Oh, I can make this even better now. Before I do that, let's just save Fireball. Let's make sure that things are still working. Reload Lang. Right? Localized, localized, localized. All right. Everything is indeed localized. Looking good. Rusty Jonas, Rusty Jonas. What does the equipment look like? Archmage. Yep, so the other stuff here, like that, it says Rusty Jonas twice. I gotta start pruning out some of this stuff now. So like all of this could go. Yeah, like look at all this stuff. Instead of deleting it all out, because this may not work 100% the way I think it's going to, we'll get rid of all that Temporal Jonas. All the Wanderer stuff we'll get rid of. I think it's also going to want to, I'm also going to have Necromancer stuff too. Oh, too far. Comment everything out. I will come back and delete all of this crap out as long as I know I don't need it. So this should cover all Conjuration Archmage, all Archmage variants should be in right now. Just like that. All right, dot, whoops. Let's see. We're still localized. Yep. And this one right here, so it's not double posting. So now I just have to put in something for this made it a lot easier. I'm getting rid of a lot of localization keys with this. This is great. And wearable. All right, so if it contains Rusty Jonas, right, now we can just keep adding to this, right? So crap, what are my variations here? what are all, here we go, basic. So I don't need to worry about basic. I'm gonna move this over here. We got Rusty Jonas, we got Temporal Jonas. Okay, so that. And I could create a localized key for these when I'm done. And then I might as well put in the Wanderer robes, because eventually I will finish that armor set and then it will be ready. And then we're going to copy and paste this one more time and we will put in the Necromancer robes. Bam. So it should be pre-pinning everything. Rusty Jonas, Temporal Jonas, and that's the basic. Perfect. He's so smart. Oh, it's 5? Oh man, we gotta find someone to raid. No wonder why my butt's falling asleep here. Who is playing Vintage Story? Vintage Story. Anyone want? Is there anyone that I should be rating that people want to see? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I love seeing all the people we have streaming this now. Before, it was like, you could be the only person or one of two people that were playing. Now, it's like everyone's hopping in. Let's see. Take a look at the chat. I'm only going to give it like maybe 10 more seconds here, and I'm going to start to look for someone to raid. We could go with someone new. Go with someone new. Cosmic Peachy, what is that? Wintertime. Pixie Moon back at it again. Storytelling Tree. Let's see the progress we can make today. First playthrough. You know, we're gonna throw it to... Oh, staying cozy, staying aesthetic. Prospecting is hopefully on the menu today. Let's go to this Storytelling Tree. Throw it over to them. They do speak English, right? Yes, okay. I see the English in there. Alright, /raid. Storytelling Tree. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Making a lot of progress here. Probably later tonight, I'm going to go back through all the localization, nail that down. Make sure that the armor has recipes, right? I have to put in recipes for this. I think the recipe is going to be this ritual right here. I think you get your armor the normal way, and then you will create this ritual, throw your armor in, and then imbue it maybe with, like, I'll come up with some static thing to allow you to turn it into, like, conjuration or whatever. But it may be this. It may be a ritual. Or maybe I lock this away for something else and you just craft it. No idea, but I gotta get a way to get this armor in your hands. But it's looking good. Oh, and I gotta clean up, you know, the decimal points and stuff too. And also put in the system where if there's a negative effect, it comes up orange. Alright, thank you everyone. Thanks for the stream and answering all my questions. Great to watch and talk about. Should also definitely peek into that spreadsheet I sent you. Yeah, I'll be looking at that. I will be. All right, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Adios. See you later.